Okay, so we have a Concord grape here. This is what I call Pocatello Purple Rain. So we're going to go ahead and rack that. It's nice and clear, time to bottle. So we're going to go ahead and rack that down into a bucket first. And then we're going to add a couple cans of grape juice concentrate just to back sweeten it. So we'll go ahead and get our racking cane and get it started. Okay, so we've got our racking cane. We'll go ahead and remove the bung here. And we'll stick our hose down into our bucket here. And then we'll start our siphon. Put this down in here and we'll give it a few pumps. Get it started and there it goes. And we'll just rack this down into the bucket. As you can see, it's nice and clear. So once that racks, we'll be back to show you the next step. Okay, so we got our wine in our bucket. Let's stir it a little bit with a spoon here. We're going to go ahead and sanitize the turkey baster here. And we're going to pull a little sample off of it. Now, I know that the wine's going to be really dry just from experience. We're at 0.99, so it's going to be very dry. Too dry for the way that I like it anyway. But you might want to go ahead and give it a sample just to see if you like it that way. So I just pulled off a small sample. I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste and make sure I want to back sweeten it first. So cheers, guys. Yeah, it's a really dry wine. It's got a really good flavor though. But I am going to go ahead and back sweeten it. Now, I do have 2 cans of concentrate here. There's many ways you can back sweeten it. You can back sweeten it with honey or sugar or corn sugar or about anything you can think of you can back sweeten this with. I just think that this adds a little bit more flavor to it. So this is how I back sweeten usually, is with some kind of juice. Now, I do have 2 here, but I'm only going to add 1 at a time and stir that up. And then I'll pull another sample off because we don't want to make it too sweet. And you can always add more sweetness to it, but you can't take it away once it's in there. So I like to do a little bit at a time. I'll throw this in the garbage over here. Rinse my hand off. I got a little bit of juice on my hand here. Towel over here, dry my hands. Okay, and we'll go ahead and stir this up good. You want to be careful not to oxygenate it, so you just want to stir in one direction, and you don't want to stir it too much. So we got that mixed in there. We'll re-sanitize this because I set it on the table here. This glass doesn't need to be re-sanitized because I'm not going to dump anything back in it. So we'll just pull this off a little sample here and we'll give that a whirl. Got a little bit more this time. This is the fun part of bottling day. Bottling day kind of sucks because you got to wash so many bottles and get them all ready and sanitize them and get your all this stuff ready. Bottling day kind of sucks until you get to this part. Then it makes it worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a sample to see if we need to add the other one. Yeah, it's still on the drier side. It's definitely a little sweeter. It's got a little tartness to it. So I am going to add this other one. I kind of figured I would. This is just how I like mine. 5-gallon batch I usually back sweeten with 2 cans of juice. So I kind of knew that, but everybody's taste is different. And sometimes I make it a little drier because I have friends and family and things that like their wine a little drier. Some like it a little sweeter. So sometimes I'll add a little more too. I'll add 3 or 4 cans sometimes just to make a sweeter wine. Because some people like it sweeter. I am kind of in the middle of the scale. I like it kind of semi-dry. That's about where I like my wine is. A little more on the drier side than the sweeter side, but kind of right in the middle. Just a little bit more to that drier side. So now that I've added that second one in there, we'll go ahead and pull us off another sample. And we'll take another sample. Seeing if you bottle 2 or 3 wines in a day, you're doing pretty good. You just keep pulling samples off, see? It's a nice clear wine if you can see that. Nice color to it. This is made out of Concord grapes. So cheers again, guys. Yep, that's about perfect. That's about where I want it. So we'll go ahead and leave it there. And I'll get my bottling stuff ready. I'm going to use the all-in-one wine pump to bottle with. So I'll get that all sanitized up and then we'll go from there. Okay, so this is my bottle washing station that I've got set up. I've got bottles here. Then I've got a bottle washer on my tap here. I'll show you how that works. I also got a sprayer here so I can spray the outsides of my bottles down if I need to, just to rinse them off. I've pretty much already cleaned them, but just kind of an example for you. Okay, and then we've got our sanitizer inside of this, and then we've got our bottle racking holder. Let me get some sanitizer here. I just want to spray this down just to make sure all these pegs are, make sure they're sanitized. We don't want something to be on those. Anyway, so I'll show you the process here. You just grab a bottle and you throw it on here. Once you push this lever down, it sprays high pressure water into your bottle, as you can see. And I just kind of rotate my bottle, make sure I get all of the bottle washed. Then I'll drain the water out of it. Then I come up here and you just push down on this and it'll shoot sanitizer up into your bottle. So you do that 3 or 4 times. Then you dump the sanitizer back into the bowl here. And then you put your bottle on your bottling tree. There, I remembered what it's called now. It's a bottling tree. Anyway, and then you just keep doing that process until you have all your bottles washed. And for 5 gallons of wine, we're going to want to do, usually get about 25 bottles, but I like to do a few extras. So I'll have between 28 and 30 bottles that I wash. So I'll go ahead and get those all sanitized up, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so we've got our wine pump here. You put an empty bottle in there, and then you put this cork in there, and it's got a tube that you can adjust the flow on. And then this is an overflow bottle. This tube is for your air, and if you follow this tube down, you got a button that you can turn the siphon on and off. And then you got this that goes onto your bottle. This straw goes down into your bottle, and then you fill the bottle up, and then you hit that button once it gets to the bottom of this straw, and then anything that goes above that straw gets sucked out and go into the overflow. That way the bottle's filled to the perfect amount for your cork every time. Then the other tube that comes out of there goes down and goes into a racking cane that's down into your wine. So we'll go ahead and start this, and I'll show you how to bottle. Okay, so I'll flip it on. It's a little bit loud. Sorry about that, guys. We'll grab our tube here, and once the suction gets going, it'll start filling up. As you see, it comes up, goes into the bottle, and it's filling the bottle now. Then, like I said, when it gets to the top where that straw is, we'll hit this button. Takes it a minute to fill up, but this wine pump is pretty cool. It'll degas for you. It siphons without any atmosphere getting into it from carboy to carboy. So that's a pretty cool feature. Okay, and then once it gets up there, see if we fill it up past that, see, it sucks it back down. I don't know if you can see that too well, but then I'll just move this bottle to the side and I'll start filling my next bottle. And I just continue that process until I have all my wine gone. Like I said, it should be around 25 bottles. So we'll just keep doing this process, and once we get them filled up, we'll go to the next step. Okay, so now we've got them all bottled up. I've got some behind me here, if you can see those, and I got these here. This is kind of my process. I've got my corks and some sanitizer here. So I'll just take the bottle and I push it down here. This is spring loaded. Put the bottle in there like that. Drop the cork down and push the cork down in. And I pull the bottle out. I have a nice hot wash rag here, clean hot wash rag. And I wipe the bottle down just in case we got any on it when we was bottling it. And then I'll stand them up in a box. And I just continue this process until I've got them all bottled up. We ended up with 25 bottles today. So I'll just continue to bottle, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, so we've got them all corked up and in the box. Like I said, we had 25, so we have one extra. I like to label the box either with my note tag or with a sticky note, just so I know, just in case I have a couple going on, I know what's in what box. And then they'll have to stand up like this for 3 to 7 days. So this is to allow the corks to dry good. So we'll go ahead and let them dry for a few days, and then we'll be back. It'll be just seconds for you, but it'll be 3 or 4 days before I get back to it.